Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Very,
I'm not the
very.
greatest editor in the world, but I have my moments, baby. What is going on? It's your boy Preston, Fat Samurai Guy. Welcome back to another episode of Versus. Oh yeah, we put two films against each other, and at the end we do a live debate like we always do, and at the end we pick a winner, baby. You know, there can only be one. That's right, Highlander style. That's right. And we're going to be doing spoiler talk today. That's right. So, just giving you guys a warning. Spoilers for both films. Two titans, pioneers of the action industry, going head to head. John Woo, Gareth Evans. That's right. We are doing the holiday themed action movies from their filmography, picked by the legend himself over here, my brother from another mother, Frankie Balboa. What's going on, brother?
Man, staying Swayze, brother, with his weather.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, great pick, man. Got to give you the shout out. That was his pick for this month. The last verses of 2025, and you know him, you love him. Award-winning author. That's right. He's done it all. Kung Fu Santa. Rick, welcome back, brother.
Nice to be back.
Yeah. And first time on Versus, we have collabed in the past. First time, one of the best podcast interviewing guru going around. That's right. Jeff, welcome to Versus.
Thank you. An honor to be here. As we discussed before, I have no idea what I'm in for, and I'm sorry in advance for all of the people I'm going to offend with my takes.
Ooh, this is going to be fun. This is it's the best Versus when there's debates, baby, when we go back and forth.
Get in line, buddy. Get in line.
Here he is, the fanatical one himself.
Even
Big
though,
Johnny. Good to see you.
good to be back.
Yeah,
Nowhere else
man,
I'd rather be.
And it's been a while. That's right. Filmmaker, action director. He's done it all himself. Kyle Wong. Yes.
Hey, everybody. Thank you
Welcome
for having me back.
Younger.
Finally got a
looking
break
younger.
for more.
Stop de-aging, Kyle. Okay. It's getting annoying. It's getting annoying. But yeah, this is a great pick by Frankie. There we go. We got chat showing up, throwing it up. Yes, thank you guys. Happy holidays to you, Justin. Yes. All right. Two titans going head to head. Now, I'm so happy Frankie picked these two movies because now that the extremely high expectations are gone, all right, the dust has settled. Time has passed. I've noticed a few things over the several months, and ever since last year, since Silent Night has come out, I've been seeing things, Instagram reels and postings and reviews of people kind of changing their mind. So it goes from, man, both of these movies were fucking horrible. Both of these movies are garbage. But then time passed, and they're like, you know what? Silent Night was actually pretty good. I revisited after, the expectations are gone. Same thing with Havoc. Havoc's actually pretty good. But I've also seen the opposite, where I was like, yo, I've seen people post, Havoc was awesome. Silent Night was awesome. And then a couple of months go by and they're like, I don't know now. So this is going to be really interesting. I don't know where everyone's going to be going, like Jeff said, but that's what makes the best Versuses. And we got some video votes, special guest video votes a little bit later. And let's go ahead and crack right into it. Up first, who's got the Silent Night plot synopsis?
That would be me.
All right. Hit us with it, Johnny.
So on Christmas Eve, a man witnesses the death of his young son when the boy gets caught in crossfire between warring gangs. Recovering from a wound that cost him his voice, he soon embarks on a bloody and grueling quest to punish those responsible.
Yes.
Directed by John Woo, starring Joel Kinnaman, and no dialogue.
Yeah. Yes. So I'll give my quick thoughts on the film, and then we'll go around. So I was not expecting Hard Boiled when this came out. I was not expecting that. John has been gone for a while. I was just happy to see him again. Kind of like when Star Wars Episode 1 came out. I know it's a horrible example, but when Star Wars Episode 1 came out, I was in the theater so happy because I was like, oh, yay. It's so nice to see lightsabers again. Right? And then a little bit later, I was like, after rewatch, I was like, there's some flaws with Episode 1, but there's some fun stuff with Episode 1 as well. But with Silent Night, I wasn't expecting Hard Boiled. I knew it was going to be no dialogue. So I went in with an open mind. I was like, okay. And Kyle, me and you had a blast reviewing it like a year ago. Or I think last year we had a blast reviewing, or a couple of years ago, actually. And it was hilarious. But I was digging it, man. I got Death Wish vibes, Exterminator 2 vibes, Death Sentence vibes, which is a really underrated movie, by the way.
Yep.
And I was patient. I realized it was, slow burn-esque. I'm like, all right, we're building, and the stunts were well done. The action finale leading up to it was kick-ass. I was all in. I was in. But then rewatching it recently, I kind of appreciated the action scenes a little bit more now, especially the car chases and the stunts. I could take it in a little bit more now. So I actually enjoyed it. And then the one-on-one fight he has with the bald henchman.
That's Harold Torres.
Thank you, Frankie. Yeah, shout out to that guy. That's like one of the most ridiculously underrated one-on-one fights of that year. I'm like, he's spearing him through walls. I mean, it's like, so it was like really good stuff. And I was like enjoying the movie more as I revisited it after all this time. But then, Kyle, I was reminded of the one thing that fucking pissed me off. And I was like, oh, it still hurts. Oh, it still hurts. And it's still, like, again, action finale leading up to it was great. Huge body count, shotgun blasting. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And then once him and Kid Cudi, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck. Him and Kid Cudi, Kid Cudi shoots like 30 people. Joel Kinnaman at this point shoots like 150. But yet they can't take out a crackhead female, apparently. And the crackhead female kicks both of their ass. And I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Keep jumping into the line of fire.
Oh my God, dude.
Apparently everybody in that gang becomes a stormtrooper at some point.
Yeah. And I was like, hold on a second. She's just randomly just spraying and she's kicked. I'm like, okay, what is this? And then Kinnaman gets the drop on her. And for some reason doesn't pull the trigger. And it still drove me nuts when the first time I saw it, and the second time I saw it recently. I'm like, why is he not shooting her? And I think I mentioned in our review, Kyle, that I was like, at least, because John's getting a little artsy fartsy with some parts of the movie. I was like, at least maybe he looked, because he's injured. Maybe he's looking at her and he thinks of his wife for some reason. Then maybe that's why he hesitated. I don't know. But there was absolutely no reason for him to not shoot her in the head. And then she shoots him several times. I was like, oh my God. I'm getting flashbacks of why I'm getting blue balls now. Blue balls. And then when he finally faces the main guy at the end, that was so unsatisfying. And then when he's putting the chokehold on the guy, again, we're getting artsy fartsy here with the little kid's images of his son showing up on the fucking Christmas bulbs, ornaments. And I'm just like, oh no, I remember now. And I'm laughing at this and cringing, and he's looking up. Maybe on paper, him, it made, and scripted, maybe it made more sense. He looks up and he reaches up and he thinks he sees his son because he's dying.
What script?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm almost done.
It begins.
And then he shows the baby face. Where? And I'm like, no, big body count. We go from blue balls to where? What are we doing? And I was like, oh, I remember now. I did appreciate the movie a lot more than the first time. But man, the blue balls at the end, I can't do it. I can't do it. But anyway, so there you go. That's my rant. Frankie, you want to? We're gonna go to you.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm ready to let loose.
Let's go, Frank.
So when I first saw the film, like everybody else during that time, I freaking despised it. I hated everything about it.
Okay.
I was like, what the fuck is this? It felt so like incoherent at one point. I'm like, what are you trying to establish here? But watching it a second time and I knew this from watching the film the first time. That was in development hell, similar to Havoc.
Okay.
So you tend to abandon things. And one thing this film introduces very well is that, you know, the person, you know, can speak and can hear. So they use the ambience and radio chatter to tell you what's going on in the world. I like that, but then it abandons that. It gets, you know, buffoonery, but I let it rock. I let it rock because it's something that you mentioned that watching a second time, I appreciate a lot because the sound design is one of the best sound mixes I heard all year and even now in a long time.
I agree.
Great sound channel mix, depth of range. And I forgot how brutal this film is. Like the first 10 minutes, the car chase, how the camera is edited. I mean, it's fucking John Woo. He knows how to fucking edit a film.
Yeah.
When he shoots him with the freaking there's an eagle, like when they're being chased, and then the freaking car lift chops both of those guys' heads off. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But as the film progresses, it gave me that nostalgic feel of exaggerating a certain city and town, and that stays consistent throughout the whole film. And also, I forgot how beautiful this film is. This film is gorgeous. And that has to do with Matt Flannery, the DP that did the cinematography for The Raid and Havoc. So that's why these films have a very unique look to it. I mean, you see throughout the whole film, like you said, it's get very artistic, especially when they're in Player's house.
Yeah.
For me, the film, I didn't despise it a second time around. I'm like, you know what? I rock with this. It is what it is. We've seen worse films that we love because the film stays super consistent, and especially something vital, which is going to lead to Havoc when we get there, is it tells you, hey, his wife is around, and you see her go through the struggles that he's going through instead of just disappearing like in Havoc. You know, so the ending, like you mentioned, I feel he didn't know how to wrap it up.
Okay.
Like it has something going on leading to it, because if you notice, the main actor looks different when he's up there. So you know they shot that at a different time.
Yeah.
But man, that finale could have been done a lot better because Kid Cudi annoyed the fuck out of me in this film. he annoyed me. I'm like, you look so out of place, bro. It looks out of place. I wish it was just him doing his thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would have been a lot more. I say the film is enjoyable. You could just watch it and turn your brain off. But man, there was so much potential with this plot and the universe that's being presented, because it gives you a fictionalized city. Even the enemies look something straight out of GTA. You got my man with the freaking player with all the scratches in his face. And I love how the main actor, I forgot his name right now.
Joel Kinnaman
is committed, like, you know what, I'm gonna do this myself. Being in the police station, taking pictures of these criminals. I'm going on freaking YouTube to learn how to be a badass, going down the Reddit rabbit hole, how to go about things. So, you know, I enjoyed it a second time. It's a fun film, especially the films that I grew up to that forget a plot. If it's entertaining, it's entertaining. We see something badass, it's badass.
Yeah.
But the car chases, I know some people nitpick it because it's CG. Man, I thought they were dope. And I saw Lancer Evo, and I love JDM cars, bro. So,
yeah.
Hey, I had a blast with it. It just, like you mentioned, the ending, and
yeah,
I really enjoyed the relationship with the wife. You barely see the wife going through it as much as, you know, the main protagonist goes to. And you see that struggle, and John Woo does a great job at establishing that in the very first 15 or 20 minutes of the film. So I dig that. I dig that the second time around. But man, that sound mix. Woo.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because I know I'm kind of jumping the gun here, but did anyone have any sound issues with Havoc?
Yeah, I mentioned now Twitter a while ago.
Because I got a decent sound system. I mean, the house shakes, but for Silent Night, it was like boom. But Havoc, I don't know, something. Maybe it's Netflix. Could be.
I ripped the film. You know how I do? I ripped it so I could play it out of my own server.
Yeah.
And there's clipping on the sound. I'm like, and I ripped all my Netflix stuff, all my Amazon Prime things, and this one has some sound issues.
Yeah, it's weird. But we're gonna get to that a little bit later. All right, Johnny, thoughts on Silent Night?
Initially, like first time a year ago or whenever it was I first saw it, I was hugely disappointed, and I think a lot of that was down to my partly expectations, but also when you look at on paper what this could have been. Like the editor was the editor of The Matrix, so it's someone who knows how to edit action and certainly knows how to edit Hong Kong style action. It's John Woo, and it's criminal that he's struggling to get budgets. The budget for this is really low, so I think I can't find a definitive, but the closest approximate amount I got was $10 million, and all shot in Mexico, pretending to be Texas. And for a movie that's kind of shot there, they did okay production value. I got to check Frankie for a sec because I did not have the same cinematographer down for both. The cinematographer for Havoc's definitely the Raid dude, but I think the cinematographer for Silent Night was Sharon Meir, who's not.
I thought it was Matt Flannery for some reason.
Nah, it's the dude that did Monkey Man, and it's the dude who did Whiplash.
Okay.
Because he did do a good job with what little resources they had, and I know that like before I kind of went in to see it the second time before we did this, I kind of did a little bit more research. I started reading a bit about it, and John Woo had said like specifically that he didn't want to try and revisit his past glories. He wanted the action to be more grounded, and he wanted to be more character driven, which I would argue it always was character driven, even in his older movies, but to a better effect. But I just still think it's criminal that he's struggling to get a decent budget, and why he isn't still making stuff in Hong Kong, because he kind of should be doing. It should be effortless for him to kind of get a production off the ground with the track record that he's had. But I think he's had a few pretty high profile movies that didn't do so well in the last 20 years. And
well, it looks pretty good for 10 million.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. But then Godzilla -1 was 10 million, and it's my touchstone for quality. It's like, and I know that they kind of squeezed a lot out of 10 million, but
Johnny will always bring that up
every time. Man.
Every
That's
episode.
I don't even see
great.
budgets in like numerical terms anymore. I just see it as a stacked series of Godzilla -1. The more money they spend. So yeah, I think disappointment the first time round, frustration the second time round. It grieved me less than it did when I watched it originally, because I didn't have expectations by this point. And I'm not ashamed to say that I fast forwarded a lot through an awful lot of his kind of woeful torment, because that wasn't really doing too much for me, much as I like Joel Kinnaman. So yeah, I think the action they did pretty well on a shoestring budget.
Well, you're just biased. You'd rather have Glenn Powell be the lead. I think that's
if the whole movie was just Glenn Powell being shot in the face, I would have loved this movie. That would have been film of the year for me. I do not like that man.
Glenn Powell's character. Yeah.
yes, of course. I'm sure he's a very nice man in real life.
Yeah,
and fun. Like you mentioned, the kind of like the sub boss fight kind of trumped the end fight, so it kind of felt a little bit anticlimactic at the end. And I hated everything about that last sequence, right down to the letter. I hated the letter, this post-communist letter at the end. Didn't land for me at all. So yeah, man, I that's about me. I think wasn't super impressed, but yeah, in my opinion, didn't really change.
All right, let's go to Jeff. Lay it down, Jeff. The truth. Be honest. Give us the truth. Can we handle the truth?
I mean, you guys all touched on a lot of it already. I think if anything, this was just an unsatisfying movie for me. Expectations going in, of course, John Woo, but knowing that he was away from the game for a while, not expecting classic John Woo, right? But still, I didn't know about any of the budget stuff. I didn't look into any of that beforehand. So what they did with it was good. And in terms of the action, Jeremy Marinas is the stunt coordinator on this, and the action when they get into it is great, but there's not enough of it for me. And it was a lot of it was too short, and part of it was, the character was going to have to learn it on the fly and cobble it all together, and then become this badass by the end of it and throw down, which was great. Ultimately, it was just not what I had hoped for, and I just didn't get enough of what I wanted to see. In terms of characterization, I defy any of you to name the protagonists in this film.
Joel Kinnaman.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
But, Godlock.
Yeah, right.
I know his last name was Godlock.
Yeah, so the characterization on that was kind of light. As a dad, though, I did empathize with the minimal storyline. So that resonated with me, but ultimately it just left me wanting a little bit too much and not getting it. So you talked about it, Preston, blue balls, and along those lines.
So it kind of sounds like this was just a whole bad idea, not just the blue balls, but the whole silent, no dialogue.
That was weird. I mean, honestly, that got a little bit annoying at times. There was just not enough of the characterization to carry us through the story. And not any fault of any of the actors, but there just wasn't enough there for me to hang on to as an observer.
Gotcha.
Without being, told something.
Right.
Catchphrases are a big part of action films, just something to hang your hat onto. But it just felt a little labored at times when, they could have done something to keep us in it. John Woo wanted to make this, grounded and gritty, a big contrast from the pretty to gritty, is how I characterize that arc. But as real and as gritty as he wanted to make it feel, not having the dialogue took me out of it so often throughout the film. I was like, what's happening here, and who is this guy again? But so ultimately it just left me feeling a little bit empty. I didn't not like it, I just wanted to love it more.
Gotcha.
But the action, when the action was on screen, it was dynamic, it was impactful, it was great. Just not enough of it for me.
All right. Well said. Before we get to Rick, Kyle, thoughts revisiting Silent Night since we reviewed it.
Oh man, like all I can say is it was hard. It totally blew my mind to realize did we review this film 2 years ago? And I was like, oh wait, we did. It totally blew my mind. I was like, oh yeah, we reviewed this. Do I have anything bad or good to say about this? I could say this. It's kind of funny. Two things last year when I was working on Love Hurts, Yoko Hamamura, who plays Ruiz the villain, was actually one of the bodyguards on set, and he was actually pretty nice that we were talking about it, and I asked him how he worked with John Woo, and he said it was a really great pleasure to work for John Woo. I didn't have to hear about the film itself, but I was like,
right, yeah. Like, I'm sure, yeah.
And then when I met up with you, Preston, and Late Fat Blood, I forgot to mention that I bought this.
Oh, you got the 4K, the Steelbook? Hey, it's a badass Steelbook though. I mean, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
So
you forgot you bought that?
No, I didn't forget that I bought that. I was like,
you forgot we reviewed it. Yeah.
I forgot we reviewed it, and then when you asked me to come back for this, I was like, man, do I have time to rewatch it? I actually had time to rewatch it, and I sat down, and I had to do a different mindset.
Okay.
Like how everyone has said here, where John Woo has not done a modern film for quite some time, let alone an action film like this, and minus Manhunt. And
your favorite John Woo movie, Manhunt? Yes, keep going.
I have a stat right here, but revisiting it this time, I was really not nitpicking. I was like trying to find like, is there anything good about this film? And the fact was, I was like sitting there going, okay, this is not bad. This is not bad. Oh yeah, this thing still sucks.
I like how everybody got the same conclusion.
like, this part still sucks. It's like, why? And like everyone went through a rabbit hole of like, why did he shoot this woman? Was this woman his wife's sister or something like that? Because he had fucking lust in her eyes. I'm not gonna shoot you, but I know you. I was just like, ugh. But I will say this: rewatching it compared to Havoc, which I have my thoughts.
Okay, honest thoughts coming. Here we go.
I'm surprised this one actually still made me actually not even ignore certain things. It made me somehow understand that there is the logic somehow in this film where, like, yeah, this guy's not a badass. He's learning bullshitto. He's learning bullshitto off of YouTube, and he's not going to be an ultimate badass. Like, you took some hits. And the fact that he threw up after shooting a guy for the first time. Yes, he stabbed
Yeah,
one guy,
that was
but
from
he didn't kill him.
That's kind of from Death Wish.
Yeah, and the fact that he had that moment of like, oh, I just shot him. Oh, I'm not gonna feel good about this. And then, but at the same time, like, yes, I know that he could not have like been one man army the whole time, like, but
well, that's why Kid Cudi was there.
Ignoring that part, as we all do. But the fact was, you knew that this guy was just focused on his one goal, which is to get revenge on the one gang member. And I was like, you know what? That's pretty nice. And the fact that, him and his wife really went through the grief and everything else, I appreciated that showed. And somehow, yes, it felt a little bit rushed of like, even the moment where they showed them after he decides, I'm going to do this revenge, and then they show each other on the couch. I seriously thought they had a moment together. Then it totally reminded me, oh yeah, this is where she's leaving him. I was like,
yeah, I had the same reaction. I was like, oh, they made amends. And she just after that, peace out, I'm gone. So, okay.
So there was like little moments in this film that I appreciated, surprisingly. And aside from the underwhelming ending, I got nothing else to say about this film.
Wow. There you go. All right. It is time for Rick.
You ready?
Yes.
Before I start, as I was listening, I have things to say about this, but as I was listening to all your reviews, something came into focus. You guys are reviewing this movie the way John Woo directed it. I'm listening to all you guys making lemonade. You're all making lemonade. You got a lot of lemons here, and you're just going, well, this wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. The sound, Frankie, the sound was great. And therefore,
it was.
I'll tolerate this movie. Okay, hold on. All right. I'll go back.
I'm just saying from a technical standpoint, the mixing
but then again, I have the same conversation with the other Frank Jang, that I had with you. He's going, oh, the vision, the images and the cinematography and the sound was so great. I'm going, I see a movie nowadays that doesn't have good sound, that doesn't have good cinematography, then I notice it. I expect modern films to have great sound and great cinematography.
You'd be surprised. What I
expect. So it's like, when suddenly it's a great movie because it has great sound. Yeah, it's a movie. In any case, I met John Woo in 1986, I believe, or 1885. I met him the day that A Better Tomorrow was released in Hong Kong. So
put that box away.
When Choi Hark was introduced to me in Choi Hark's office, John Woo, when John Woo was introduced to me by Choi Hark in Choi Hark's office, and they said, and they gave me a poster of A Better Tomorrow and said, you wanted the director to sign it? I go, great. I didn't know who John Woo was. I didn't know his other films. But then I saw the movie that night, and he became a superstar. But he was a gentleman when I met him. He was a gentleman every time I met him since then, after that. And we're quite close. I have my friend Caroline Vier, who's the biggest movie reviewer in Paris and in France. She became very good friends with him, and she would constantly send me all the stuff about him. He's a lovely man, and he's religious, and he doesn't want to make these movies, but he does, and he's a genius at them. That's kind of like his cross to bear. And so but you look at his progression, and you remember the nightmare that was arguably his bullet in the head, and what he went through on that one. After that, it was fairly clear to me and to Caroline, and when we talked to him, that he didn't need to make another movie. He only made a movie when he had to. And then he wasn't an auteur anymore. It was slim pickings. So he made the best with what he could get, and he took it. And what did he make it for? He made it for the money. And so, but still, he's an artist. So he's going to do the best he can do. So that's John Woo for you. So again, when I heard he was coming back for Silent Night, and it had this amazing gimmick. The movie was being sold on the fact, not on its cinematography, not on its sound, but on its gimmick. So the gimmick became important to me because I know John. I figured that was John. I figured John did that to make it interesting to him. And he was going to make something as emotionally and cathartically powerful as his Better Tomorrow movies, as Hard Boiled, as The Killer, as Bullet in the Head. He was going to try to do the same thing, because if you watch those movies again, the most important thing in all those movies is the story, or as the great JC always, not JC, BL always says, emotional content. That's what makes, gentlemen, if you'll pardon me, to me, certainly to me, and I believe the majority of the audience, based on the amount of money that the movies have made over the last 70 years, 50, 60 years that I've been watching them, people react to that more than anything else. They get involved with the story, and the cinematography and the sound support the story. The acting supports the story. So I'm coming into this where a movie where no one talks. Can anybody here, because I certainly can't, explain to me why that's even in this movie? Does it make any point at all? If you took that out of the movie, would it change the movie in any way? No. So why does no one talk? If he had established the reason why no one talks, he might have had a movie. And I don't care. I mean, all your badassery, you know me, I like wiseassery or smartassery. I don't care about badassery. I want people to do things for a reason that have emotional content, that make me feel something, that makes me go, ah. So for the whole movie, I'm going, why doesn't anybody talk? I mean, if we start the movie with this guy, his whole life is based on him talking. I don't know, maybe a disc jockey, or he's a lawyer, where, everything is based on him talking. Even that movie, I think there was a Jim Carrey movie where he had to tell the truth. I mean, again, that's emotional content. Here, absolutely no point to this entire film. None. And so everything that's superfluous, I don't care. I don't care about anything, because I don't care about him. And I haven't seen Joel much. And I'm going to be bringing this back when we get to Havoc. But I was told very early on in my career that a good actor is someone you know what he's thinking. When he's silent, you know what he's thinking. He's not thinking, I'm about to shoot this guy now. He's thinking, why am I about to shoot this guy now? And Joel, I look at his eyes and I see someone acting. I don't see someone being. Yeah, I see somebody yelling here. I mean, and again, but because, why, again, go back to that picture. Why is he yelling? Why is he making that face? Because he can't talk? Well, his talking has never helped him in the rest of the film. He had no point. If he's mute, it shouldn't change his life in any way, because he doesn't use his voice for any reason in the movie. And here, oh no, I can't talk. So now I'm going to get all angry. Again, empty calories here. And so again, it made the rest of it incredible. And I think you've heard me say this before, Phat. If you don't nail the landing, it doesn't matter what comes before.
Yep.
And one thing I think all of you are in agreement with, the ending of this movie sucks.
Where?
And so this is not so. So I think I'm done.
Copy that. Well said. Well said.
And that was beautifully said, by the way. All beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Rick, I have a question.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
think this still would have worked if everyone spoke and
No.
Joe was still injured and mute?
it all depends on why and how it interrelates. It's kind of like, again, knowing John is so soft. John is so soft spoken. That's what he's like. So again, I was looking for him to do more and more and more, but you could tell he was demoralized throughout the making of this. Everything in this movie is surface. Everything is surface. Yeah, he has a great editor. He has a great cinematographer. He can do it in his sleep, and I think that's how he did this one, because he could not face that this is what he had come to.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the money. I'm going to do the best I can, given the $10 million in Mexico, right? And I'm sure John really enjoyed Mexico. And in any case, so yeah, he didn't bring anything to it. So he's such a great guy, so religious. So I could see him sort of like, at night doing the same thing Joel does in the mirror, looking in the mirror and going,
I thought if Kinnaman's character had gone deaf when he was shot, then you're watching all the characters through his eyes, and they're all screaming, but he can't hear anything. You still have a silent film, but there's something that makes it more realistic than just people not talking for no reason.
But I think between
Jeff, sorry, I've got to jump in at that point, because Jeff, you mentioned something that I totally forgot to mention earlier on. A year after Silent Night, Joel Kinnaman made a different movie called The Silent Hour.
That's right.
He's a policeman who loses his hearing, and he then basically can't do that much. So he gets sort of transitioned from being an active cop into being a cop who has to work with hearing impaired people, because he learned sign language. So his new use to the police force is that he can now sign. And then it kind of sort of turns into almost like 16 Blocks, where he's got to protect a witness who's also deaf. So neither of them can hear the people who are coming after them. And it's a much better movie. I think it's directed by Brad Anderson.
I forgot.
Machinist. But yeah, this is clearly Joel Kinnaman's see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil phase. So,
there we go.
There maybe is a blind movie that he still has yet to make. But yeah, I forgot to mention earlier.
Even if between the rest of us, all six of us, we don't have to do this. But think about, how would you have approached this? This guy can't talk. Why? And what will make the movie great? Because he can't talk. What does he learn? How does he use? I mean, again, that's another thing, John, you used to do. That, somebody has a problem and they overcome it. Well, that's what Kung Fu movies do. They have a problem and they overcome it, and they think of clever ways around the issues. And also the fact that he can't talk, and the fact that nobody else does, has no meaning to the plot, has no meaning to the story.
Right.
Like you said earlier, it was just a gimmick.
And it was a pointless gimmick. Yeah. I think that's why I looked at the list of producers. And John Woo was a producer. Joel was a producer. There was a bunch of producers. And I was looking for, who was the producer who said, this is our gimmick. This is what we're going to do. We got to make a movie about a guy who can't talk. And I couldn't find him. I mean, you can find stuff like in Wild Wild West was completely, the Will Smith one was completely ruined by the producer, because he wanted what he wanted in the movie for no reason.
Pain.
And whenever I usually see a movie that has that problem, I look for the producer. The G.I. Joe movies are all sabotaged by their producer for his power reason. I couldn't find out why this was sabotaged, but I'm fascinated to find out why.
I found one quote from Erica Lee, who was one of the other producers, and she'd said that, I think she was the one that got the spec script, and then she brought it to John Woo. But she'd said that when she was given the script, her impression, and this is a direct quote, this is either going to be a genius movie or a disaster. There's no in between.
Well, actually, it wasn't between. This was a perfect in between. Because this wasn't a disaster, but it certainly wasn't a great movie.
Yeah.
It was a pointless.
Kind of make it literally pointless. It's weird if you watch his remake of The Killer after this, because it all of a sudden starts looking a whole lot better.
There you go. So in any case, finally, third time, right. I'm done.
All right, everybody brought up amazing points. That's right, Kyle. Again, bringing up some great points of him getting absolutely his ass kicked in his first fight. That was great. And great sound. Hey, Frankie, I'm on your side, brother. All right, sound. You need good sound action movie, man.
Props to, because in this day and age, The sound mixes have been terrible. That F1 sound mix was garbage. Barely uses the Atmos speakers. It's horrible. Dude, I got studio monitors here, and I got a freaking 9.1 in the. Trust me, it's been a big complaint of people. The current sound stage for films is like, why do I have all these rear channels? That's why I took him out of my living room and put him in freaking in my studio back there. Yeah. There's no point of having 5.1s anymore with these sound mixes. It's like there's no sound transition. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah. Jeff, before we get to the next one, you know what? I think this would have made a great short film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think this idea would have made a great short film.
Saturday Night?
Yeah.
But again, why was everybody silent then? Even in the short, why is everyone silent?
Like I mentioned in the beginning of the film, you could tell there was an idea. It was very ambitious to make it work. You heard the radio chatter to explain to you what's going on outside. You heard the cop radio. It was being consistent in the beginning for like a short amount, and then it was abandoned.
Right.
But again, it had no purpose.
Right.
Yeah, they did it better at the beginning, but it still had no purpose.
Well, what I'm trying to say is I thought it was going to be a purpose to it. I'm like, okay, this is what you're going to set up. And then it was like, what the hell is the point then?
Exactly.
All right.
You know?
Copy that. We're moving along to this year's, I'm going to say Halloween Havoc. My WCW brain is working right now. Halloween Havoc. Yeah, dig it, brother. But we're going to Havoc, and you know, it's always an honor having Sonny Pang on the show, on the channel. And it was so cool, Rick, having you interview Sonny for his role in the film for this year's San Diego Comic-Con Kung Fu Extravaganza exclusive YouTube channel videos, interviews. And he's always a blast. I mean, and he was great in the movie, but I do have a pet peeve. And I'm going to get to the pet peeve a little bit later, but you know, it's always great having him on here. So make sure you guys, everybody watching, if you haven't seen that interview, check it out here on the channel. But Havoc, who's going to read the plot synopsis? Johnny, I think you got it, right? Oh, Kyle got it. Jeff's got it. Somebody's got it.
I got it.
All right, go for it.
So, trusty IMDb says, after a drug deal gone wrong, a bruised detective must fight his way through the criminal underworld to rescue a politician's estranged son, unraveling a deep web of corruption and conspiracy that ensnares his entire city. Boy, nice. IMDb, you really are pinpointing these plot outlines as always.
I'm surprised the plot wasn't. There's a lot of havoc in this movie, and that's it. I'm surprised that wasn't the plot synopsis for IMDb. All right, so again, my expectations were like through the roof. Through the roof. We've been waiting 5 billion years. Poor Sonny, I tortured him. I kept messaging him once in a while. Hey, man, when's it coming out? When's it coming out? Poor guy. But, yeah, he's awesome. But, you know, I sat down and watched it. You know, my wife, she's also a big, huge Gareth Evans fan. I mean, he's paved the way, you know, for others. He's changed the game, just like John Woo did in the 80s, right? So, you know, we watched it. And I liked it. I was entertained by it because you know me, you know I love the gore, I love carnage, I love you love
Havoc.
I love Havoc, yes, but I just the CGI. I was put it this way: if you go back to my teaser trailer reaction video, if you go back to that, I am so pumped up and excited for Havoc that they show the CGI chase, the CGI car truck chase in the teaser, and you see me going, yes, Gareth Evans back. Oh my God. I'm like blind. I'm blind to what I'm looking at because I'm that hyped for the movie. It wasn't until I watched it at home, I was just like, well, this was a creative choice. It was a creative choice. I'll have to ask Rick a little bit later when it's his turn, but I don't know. Like I that threw me off a little bit. So I'm like, all right, he's just trying to do something different. Let's keep. Oh, the whole city is CGI. Okay. He's going for a comic book movie. Look, I don't know. Let's just keep going. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling.
Wait till you get to me.
All right. Oh, I can't wait. I'm looking forward, Rick. I'm looking forward. We're big, huge Tom Hardy fans. I mean, he's no Glenn Powell, but we're big, huge Tom Hardy fans. I mean, I mean, everybody's different. Not everybody likes Tom Hardy, but when you, there's a movie called Lock. It's not for everyone, but in that movie, Tom Hardy sits in a car, drives by himself, and talks to himself. That's the whole movie, and it's phenomenal. It's a one-man acting masterpiece. But again, it's not for everybody. But he's great. But something felt off with him in this movie. It was weird. Because we're watching, we're like, yeah, Tom Hardy's being a badass. Tom Hardy's Tom Hardying. All right, yeah. And then something was just, it felt weird. Like he was kind of checked out. Something felt off. Even though I liked it. Even though I liked it, something felt off.
Something was.
But
off.
again, the so now I'm revisiting it now. So kind of like Silent Night, I was able to absorb the action a lot more this time around. No expectations this time. So the fight scene in the club, great. I mean, if you look at it, this movie really only has 2 big action set pieces. That's it. So you have the fight scene in the club, and I was just like, this is some good shit. This is good. And the cabin shootout at the end is fucking insane. You see, oh, there he is. There's Gareth. There he is. Where you been, buddy? But some of the things, the nitpicky stuff still kind of remain. I wanted to see Timothy Olyphant do more. I wanted to see Timothy Olyphant fight Tom Hardy. There was things there, I didn't give a shit about the fucking couple. I could care less about that couple, man. They could have died immediately, and I would have been like, and the movie tried so hard to make us care for what reason? I don't know why. I did not care. They didn't even thank Tom Hardy at the end of the movie. They just fucked off. I was like, really? The whole movie, they were trying to get away from me. They're trying to, just being annoying. They were annoying. And they just fucked off. Peace. Have fun getting arrested or dying over there. Fuck you for trying to save us. We could have handled it ourselves. And Forrest Whitaker, he's always great. He's a great actor, right? And again, the main actress, Mamie Frank, you can help me, who played the mob, basically.
That's Yeo Young Young.
Yeah, the face, man, the presence.
She's an amazing actress, actually.
Yeah, I wanted to see more of her. But
great facial structure, her demeanor,
yeah,
man, she wasn't used right in this film.
I mean, I was intimidated. Intimidated, But yeah, I wanted to see her do more. But Michelle Watterson, Karate Hottie, she's awesome. She got to throw down a little bit. But it was cool seeing her, UFC fighter, a former UFC fighter. But Sonny Payne, every time he's on screen, you're locked to him. Because if you guys have seen, I mean, me and Kyle have talked about this before. If you guys watch Headshot, I mean, the villain he plays at the end of that movie is so memorable. Every time he's on screen, you're locked in because he's great. He has the it factor, and he can do anything. He can do comedy, drama. He's a phenomenal actor. But imagine if Gareth let Sonny cut loose with kung fu. Imagine everybody in the entire movie is fucked if he let Sonny pull out the martial arts, that tiger style. Can you imagine? Everybody would have been fucked.
Yeah.
Yes, we can imagine.
Yes. Yeah. So, but I don't know. Maybe Gareth's like, I've been doing too much of the fighty fight, too much of the martial arts. Let's just do more gun fu for this one. Let's switch it up. But I still like it, but I really wanted to love it. Again, my appreciation for the action scenes really skyrocketed. But the sound, again, I don't know. I'm like, dude, what is going on? It's so weird. It's so weird with the sound design with the film. But I understand the disappointment. I totally do. But I've had people message me, filmmakers, and a lot of them said, you know what? This movie gets better every time you watch it. I've watched it for the 5th time now, fifth time now, and it just gets it just gets better and better. Yeah, people keep telling me that about the Superman movie, and you know what's hilarious? We're going to be doing our best and worst movies list of the year coming very soon, and I totally forgot a Superman movie even came out. So let's keep rocking and rolling here. So I kind of feel, again, the only thing that's changed is my appreciation for the action scenes went up, but again, I don't know, man. Just again, something felt off. And people, when the movie came out, and some people loved it, and some people were disappointed. A lot of people were messaging me. He's like, that wasn't Tom Hardy in that in finale cabin fight scene, right? Like 40-50% of that in finale fight scene and some of the fight action in the club, they took his face and CGI'd it on a stunt guy. You
could
right?
see it in the end in the train sequence. You could see it. The light.
Frankie, wasn't this around the time where Tom Hardy kind of just publicly said he's done with action movie roles because he's just old, his body can't handle it anymore? So I wonder. Yeah, it wasn't too long around that time. So that was interesting. I heard that, and then all these rumors are going around. Gareth and Tom just didn't connect. There was issues between both of them. Maybe that's why on screen Tom felt off. I don't know. Who knows who's at fault? Maybe when we get to Rick, Rick will tell us what worked and what didn't work. But again, I don't hate Havoc. But again, great action. Great action. I like the action. But I guess I felt empty for some reason. So, all right, Frankie, Havoc. Halloween Havoc.
I'm gonna get straight to it because Rick is gonna hone it in. So I want to hear Rick. So I'm gonna go straight to the point.
Okay.
Seeing this the second time, I know what I'm getting myself into. I hated it more. I'm being straight.
All right.
This film pissed me off. The couple made no freaking sense. And you mentioned the club scene?
Yeah.
I hated that scene. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
So you're telling me all these assassin gangsters bring their A game to Tom Hardy. They're in level 10 and Street Fighter 2 difficulty level, but when they fight the couple that have no skill levels, they look like they're on dope. They could put up a fight. They look like when you see those stunt behind the scenes when people are like timing everything.
Yeah,
you can see their eyes. They're counting 1, 2, 3. Okay, judo flip. It's like when you're mixing two records and you off the BPMs. You're not syncing them in. Tom Hardy's doing a thing, or CG Tom Hardy, whoever that is.
Right.
Everybody else, and then you got everybody's favorite, Puerto Rican abuelo. He's like, yeah, he got aimbot like in a Call of Duty lobby. I'm like, what? It looks goofy to me.
Yeah.
The only scene that I was like, oh, I forgot this scene was badass, is when Dean Martin's Oh Holy Night is playing, when they're in the motorcycles with the shotguns. I'm like, ooh, great choice of music. The way the speed of the camera undercranks when she pulls it out by the side, that was beautiful. And everything else, I totally despise. That couple really pissed me the hell off. And Tom Hardy's wife, you thought it was going to be something with the plot with her. When he's like, damn, I got to get this Christmas gift and all this. She disappears. Never a phone call. This guy is getting into some government mayor conspiracy. This gang here. World War III is happening in this fictionalized Chicago, I think. Nothing. Are you okay, baby? Nah, I'm just chilling, man. I went to the store. I'll be back for milk. Like, and then the Resident Evil cabin scene. If you see the girlfriend, the way she's shooting, she's not even aiming at the dude, but headshot. It looks like a Adobe Flash, After Effects. Like, it's her mannerism. She's not selling the action, and you got to sell it. The best people in the game, no matter what it could be $1 budget, they're gonna sell the action. Tom Hardy got the face and everything. They're like, no strength, nothing, and they're just NPCs. They're bots. Versus him, oh, we're gonna be freaking doing the Matrix on Tom Hardy. Oh shit, he's gonna get flip and everything. I hated this film, bro.
Well, I have to ask you this before we go to Fanatical. I have to ask you this: I'll ask everyone real quick. Did anyone have a problem with this character?
Oh, well, L that wasn't used. Who I thought was going to be used? My awesome British actress. Yeah, she's British. Why was she here? Why?
Actually, I agree with that too.
Well, I thought she was going to be in the club scene. No, she's just there to be a mulligan. I got you. I'll break the law for you. Fuck.
Yeah, but my pet peeve was, I mean, it was cool seeing her in the movie and being a badass, but she didn't get hurt at all. She didn't get shot once. Everyone else is getting shot like a million times.
Plot armor.
Tom Hardy gets his ass kicked, and she like nothing happens to her at all. Even at the end finale shootout, I was like, come on, at least let a bullet graze her arm.
Nope.
Let somebody throw her through a window, something.
Plot armor.
Anyway, my blood pressure is going up, so I'm done.
All right, he's done. All right, he hated it even more. Interesting. I like it. Fanatical.
I'm the other end of the spectrum on this one. I think I'd suffered through. I really like Tom Hardy, and I'd suffered through however many of those goddamn like horrible Venom movies there are, which I hated all of. So, Taboo season 2 was spoken about, but never arrived. So we were just a big Tom Hardy loving household. So we were itching for something that wasn't appalling with Tom Hardy in it. So we kind of enjoyed this quite a lot first time round. Okay. I think I went into it knowing it was going to be like Sin City, and it was just like Sin City. It kind of feels like Sin City if Sin City now had the technology to be in full color. So it's as much of a comic book experience. I didn't really mind the crazy CG, and I think I agree with you. I like it. His perspectives shifted. Like there was definitely a time when Gareth Evans was the guy for doing action, but that mantle's long been ripped off his head, and his head's been decapitated by Timo Hanto. So those days are gone. Like he can't get close to what Timo was doing. So as far as action on Netflix, The Shadow Strays smokes this movie in every regard, right? Yep. So I was just grateful to see Tom Hardy in something that didn't completely suck. And I think Gareth Evans realized he could take a huge amount of money because the budget for this, 9 Godzilla minus ones. This is like $90 million, which is a lot for a Netflix movie. I think they spent more on that. I won't get into that, but it's not their most expensive, but it was up there in terms of budget, and realized that he could go to America and shoot the movie across there, and you'd see most of that money up on screen. Or he could take all of that $90 million and basically start a Welsh film industry and shoot the whole thing in Wales and basically leave a bit of a legacy. And I think he seems to be at that age in his life where he's thinking, okay, how many other people can I lift up to possibly to the detriment of the actual movie? Because the visual effects are patchy. I think there was huge problems. We can get into the production hell element of it. The script changed massively. I think the wife was him just throwing a bone to one of the actresses from Gangs of London, because she's got a pretty big part in Gangs of London. And I believe she did have a bigger part in this, but then that got changed in the kind of like post-writer strike rewrites and stuff. So there was a lot of coulda, shoulda, woulda that didn't quite work out the way I expected they wanted it to. But for me, rewatching it now, I didn't find the weird effects stuff as glaring, because I just viewed it as if I was watching Sin City. And I think if you can turn off that part,
when I said earlier, Johnny, I was like, is he going for like a comic book look?
I think he definitely was.
That's something that I mentioned in my review, that I like the aesthetics of it. It had this Max Payne Crow element to it. So I rocked with the look of the film. It was consistent. I'll give it that.
Because as soon as the first person ran through the amount of ammunition that a clip would have and then shot for like 150 more rounds, I was like, okay, we're not in that world of realism. So I didn't kind of fall into that too much. The thing I didn't pick up on that my wife totally did was she said that this has the most authentic Cantonese in a non-Hong Kong movie that she's ever heard. Like the Cantonese dialogue here, from her point of view, was like pretty spot on, which was surprising.
So did you like it? Did you like it more, or you're about the same?
About the same. I enjoyed it, flaws and all, the first time. Okay. Just because I was so stoked seeing Tom Hardy not be Venom. That was my big takeaway. I hated those movies.
How dare you! We are Venom. All right, Kyle.
Oh God. I'm gonna try and summarize this. Okay, so yeah, expectations I think the fact that we're talking about both these films, we've had expectations. We had expectations for John Woo to come back with Silent Night. We had expectations of Gareth Evans coming back. And then I realized, man, my expectations were very high for certain things. And a prime example of that was came out earlier this year, and it was Sons of the Neon Knight. High expectations for that, for Sons of the Neon Knight. And then when I watched it, my expectations went away.
Kyle, is that the Juno Mac movie?
Yes, the Juno Mac movie. Thank you.
Okay.
I was trying to remember the director's name. Thank you, Johnny, for reminding me, because for me, Rigor Warriors was good. But the fact that I had high expectations for this, knowing that Gareth Evans had been doing and focusing on Gangs of London, making sure that was like being well done for the TV series in BBC, or not even BBC, or just whatever in the UK, and just making something that is outside of the raid. And then knowing this for Havoc, I was like, okay. Knowing that's not more of a martial arts film, I was like, okay, that's a good change. See how he flexes that muscle of actually doing something outside of martial arts action, because he did Apostle doing horror. And I was like, okay, let's see how this does as a hard, gritty crime thriller, drama, action, whatever this was. And I emphasized whatever this was, because I was like, and as you put it, Preston, that what's wrong with Tom Hardy? I was like, could there have been like a little bit of Bad Lieutenant put in there? But here's the thing: as Bad Lieutenant and Harvey Keitel was, you knew he was a piece of shit,
right,
through and through the whole film. This, they tried to shoehorn the fact that Tom Hardy's a piece of shit, but no, he's like so disjointed of the emotion and just the whole moral of what he is. It's like, we don't understand who he is, let alone there's nobody likable in this film whatsoever. There's no one likable in this film, and you don't feel anything.
This is my favorite character.
Yeah, and yet still, we still don't have any connection with them whatsoever. Like, him and his girlfriend you don't feel the weight of like their danger, and we don't even understand why.
Not even a flashback or when they met or anything.
Yeah. And let alone the side fact that their two friends that sold them out, they're just gone like that with Luis Guzman, and it's just like, yep, we don't care about them. We don't.
Did
care
anyone
about them.
laugh when he died? Because I was laughing.
All I can say was
his little run up, his little run. I'm coming. He shoots that one guy.
And all I remember was like, when I rewatched this, I was like, oh yeah, this movie did come out. Oh yeah, I did watch this. Oh yeah, now I realize I don't really care about this film, and that says a lot. The fact that when everyone put Gareth Evans on a pedestal because of the Raid films, and then we were waiting for Havoc to do something different. This was soulless. This was a soulless film that you could tell, like, whoever was behind it, not just Gareth Evans, but you could tell that there was just like, we're just trying to make a film here. Let's just try and make something for Netflix. And it is basically a Netflix, straight to Netflix. Like, to tell you the truth, I have this in my hand right now. Why I don't have Havoc is because it's exactly like you said, Rick. I don't feel any emotional connection or emotional content from that film, because it's not that I'm pissed off. It's like, I don't feel anything to this film. Not even with the action scenes, not even with anything. Like, oh wow, this nightclub scene happened. Great. Everyone's still acting dumb. Like, you have everyone spraying and praying that they hit something. And it was just, yeah, exactly that. Everyone's spraying and praying, but that's my take on Havoc. I have nothing else to say, nothing good or bad about this film, because that's how soulless it is to me.
I'll throw this for you for your frustration.
Thank you.
Kyle, could Fanatical enjoyed it. Could this movie be viewed as an entertaining time waster? I got nothing to watch. I want an action movie. All right, let's watch some Halloween Havoc. All right.
I mean, you
Did
can
they
have it
do
in the
that?
background while you roll.
Yeah, maybe a
something
rainy
up,
a rainy
you know?
day background movie, and then you're just going like, oh yeah, that happened, great.
Right.
But you're not gonna sit down and just like. The fact that I had to sit down right here in my office just rewatching it, going like,
Re cheating, trying to watch it on 1.5 speed.
no, I was literally watching a normal speed, and I was like,
Oh boy! All right,
here's
copy
how I
that.
put it. I enjoyed watching and numbing my ass for the Kill Bill Whole Bloody Affair.
Right.
Minus the shitty lost chapter, but that's another story.
All right, Jeff. Halloween Havoc.
Okay, so I like Tom Hardy. I like Gareth Evans. I like Jude Poyer, who did the action. So many great tastes. Did not taste great together. This is, as Shakespeare said, the sound and the fury signifying nothing for me. There was the nightclub's action scene and the cabin action scene, which for me, as what I focus on my show, technically fun to watch, great dynamics, cool stuff happening, great camera work. But again, do you know what Tom Hardy's character name was? Nobody does. Do you know any of the other characters in this film? No, of course not. And it didn't matter because none of them had any characterization that was enough for me to care about whatsoever. I didn't care that the film looked like a giant video game cutscene because I didn't care about anything else that happened in the film. So it was tough to sit through this because again I couldn't connect with Tom Hardy's character, who apparently was named Walker, and didn't care that he was a good cop stuck in a bad situation and was trying to do good, and then got caught up in some other nonsense with the triad. I felt more for the triad gang leader than I did about anyone else.
Yeah, Shore's mother.
Yeah. So, again, as a parent, I was like, oh, well, her kid got taken out and obviously she's going to be out for some revenge. But then apparently Forrest Whitaker was protecting his kid too. So I was supposed to care about that, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So it was unfortunate that there was a lot of good people and good opportunities thrown together here that could have been really good if anyone else cared to put that story together. I did dig the action scenes. I love the way that those looked. Again, I like Jude Poyer. I like what he does.
Yeah.
But Preston, again, if you took those fight scenes out and just made them a short film, I could watch those over and over again.
Right. Yeah.
And got the same effect than putting them in the middle of this morass of emptiness. So it was more familiar for me as an action film fan because it was more modern and there was a lot more, I guess, to fall back on. But I watched it and I felt dirty that I watched it again.
So I'm gonna throw this out for you.
All right. Well said. All right. Now it is time. This man is very good at sleuthing, figuring out what went wrong, what went right. All right. Rick, what happened?
Well, I would invite you guys to take all the clues that you have laid out and ask yourself, why would a reputable, respectable, a director you respect, a director and writer you respect, do what he did? However, you need some more information. I met Gareth Evans the day he came to the Museum of the Moving Image to show the American premiere of The Raid 2. And he brought a friend with him, as you can see there. And I love his T-shirt. I love both their T-shirts. So
oh cool.
And we got along famously. And we talked for quite some time, and we've talked since then. So I knew what was happening with Havoc. The title is a clue. In other words, the hero's name is Patrick Wilson. And you don't remember that. And, the first thing I noticed is, why is it called Havoc? Well, that's the movie. That's a clue. Here's the deal. If you were him, why would you make this movie? He made this movie for two reasons. One, Netflix asked him to. And when you are asked by Netflix to make something, most filmmakers do this. Because now we can have some fun. And basically, here's a director, Gareth, who has done all low down to the ground, real movies and TV shows. And Netflix is going, you want to play with all our toys? Here's a whole chest of toys you can use. Do you want to play with those? And he went, it's a Netflix movie. I can play with all the toys. And so he wrote this movie with friends. He directed this movie. It's a playground. It's a sandbox. This was a big sandbox for him, and nothing was a problem. They have a problem. They need to do reshoots. They did reshoots. But the second reason he did this movie is the most telling thing, where the other movie with John Woo was filmed in Mexico. Where was this filmed?
Wales.
The film, this is a quote, the film is one of the biggest films ever to be produced in Wales and left a lasting legacy for filmmakers. He did it for his hometown. It didn't matter. And also, you guys feel differently, obviously, than the way I did. Joel, in the last movie, again, I look at him, I look at Tom Hardy, and try as he might to show nothing, I just get waves of emotion from him. Just there's that first sort of poster-like shot you had where he's just staring directly at you and trying desperately not to show anything because he's playing someone who's shell-shocked. If you go back to that picture of him with the mayor and look at him. He is trying to figure out what is going on. What do I say now? What do I do now? How do I get through this? And he's great. And since I knew what I was getting into here, which was Gareth's playground, Gareth's, sandbox, I just watched in amazement as each scene went on. And I loved that female partner, that impervious superhero female partner. I loved her because she was the one sane person in this entire movie. And also she was godlike and superheroic, like nothing affected her. No bullet, no emotional content. And
Rookie of the year.
Yeah, just go back to that previous shot of her just handing him, what was she handing him? The phone or whatever? And it's like he's going, I don't know. And there's all the blood behind him and she's going, hey, whatever, man. And the ending I thought was perfect in that, what was the quote? Who said the quote? Sound and fury, signifying nothing. Absolutely right, Jeff. Absolutely right. Shakespearean in scope, Shakespearean in emotional content, and sound and fury. And so when it ended that way, because I love Shakespeare, and and it's just the kind of thing that Gareth would do. He's making a Shakespearean. I could pick up 12 Nights out of here. I could pick out, Much Ado About Nothing from these things. And he just put together something like, it's a lasting legacy for the filmmakers in Wales. And I got to, and again, I was looking at how he was creating the city and how he was doing those chase scenes. He was playing in the box. And it was like, and I'm just going, it was, mean. Yeah. I'm sure if you took this seriously and were expecting something really good, and that wasn't steeped in, I'm going to have fun and I'm going to use these tools and see if, I bet he never uses this stuff again because it's not the kind of thing he's going to do. But he did get to make this. And what did he call it? Did he call it Silent Night? No, he called it Havoc. Let slip the dogs of war. Look, if you watch it from that standpoint, that quote, that is a Shakespearean quote, right? The Havoc quote.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's all you need to know. And just sit back and relax and enjoy it like I did. I watched the whole thing and I was just like going, "Oh, this is so
Yo, Rick,
sweet."
If they do a physical media, they need to quote you. Did he call this Silent Night? No. He called it
Havoc.
That's it.
I love it.
And again, that's the clue. That's a clue. So
I love you, Rick, man. The way you put things together, man. Like,
well, I again, we're all different. I've been watching movies a lot longer, so now I look for other things. And of course, all these are all my books. These are things that I've written, so I'm always looking for the story. And I also love mysteries, and I love science fiction, and I love action. And and this thing was just like meat for me. Look at this. Yeah, this whole fight scene, such nonsense. It reminded me of an apartment house I lived in a couple of years ago. And it was just like, and I always imagined fight scenes that I would do in this place, in the cellar of this 3-story house. And that whole fight scene, again, what's the one word that I would think of to describe that fight scene? Nonsense. Nonsense. And
nonsense could be fun.
And it was,
True.
for me, it was glorious. It was glorious nonsense.
I love good bad movies.
Oh, come on. That's what we hear. That's what we friends.
I don't even consider it. I don't consider it a bad movie because he got exactly what
I.
he wanted from it. And I got exactly what I wanted from it once I realized what it was.
Yeah, but that inside baseball, though, we're not privy to that. So
no, but I am. So
yeah.
So that's why you guys didn't enjoy it, and I did immensely.
No, you ducked out when I was speaking. I was very much fighting the corner for this movie.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot the first time, enjoyed it even more the second.
All right.
Slap me,
and
slap
I didn't
me 5,
know,
baby. Slap me 5. Come on. Give me 5.
There you go. Hey. All right.
I didn't know the inside
column,
either.
the middle column says yes.
Well, now
we cry havoc.
Yeah. Speaking of fighting for the corner, it is time. It is time to vote, baby. Let's go ahead and do this. That's right. Rick is keeping he's keeping tally. He's keeping tally
with my Comic-Con International pen.
Ooh, fancy. Yes, but before we go around the squared circle here, we got 2 special guest video votes. That's right. My brother David up first from Martial Arts Action Cinema. Who did he vote for? Let's check it out.
Yo, David here for MAActionCinema.com. That's Martial Arts Action Cinema. And today we're debating between Silent Night and Havoc. And, this is a tough one for me because I actually dig both movies. They both had a slow burn. The action didn't really hit until halfway through the film for both movies. But when the action hits, I think Havoc was a step above Silent Night for me. Silent Night was cool, having John Woo, coming back to Hollywood after 20-something years, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But whenever we see a John Woo movie, because since he's such a legend, we're always prone to compare it to his classic. And of course, Silent Night, doesn't live up to to his peak of which is probably impossible to do. But with Havoc, what Gareth Evans did was he took some of John Woo's flavor and add some of his own, the raid, kinetic, gritty, hard-hitting action to his style, and I think that put it a step above Silent Night for me, especially that finale with that shootout in the cabin, and his hand-to-hand fight with Michelle Watterson, which is freaking excellent. So I think if I have to pick, I got to go with Gareth Evans' Havoc. There you have it, guys. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, peace.
All right,
Rick, we're back in the game, baby. We can
We
still
got
do this.
one. There you go. There you go. All right, and we got one from another brother. That's right, James Couche, director. Here we go.
Hey guys, sorry I couldn't make it today, but I did want to share my thoughts on these two movies because I have very strong opinions about them. Let's dive in. Let's start with Havoc, a movie that we waited years to get our hands on, to finally see. It was shot in 2021, sat on the shelf for like 4 years, and we finally just now got it because I guess Tom Hardy's schedule was just kind of crazy. Was it worth the wait? Well, let's start with the positives. The fights were really good. They were a lot of fun. They actually had a really great sense of danger, and they were really gory. That's so cool, and so much more gory than what we're used to seeing. But whenever people aren't fighting, the movie kind of sucks. It kind of has the feel of Netflix slop. You know what I'm talking about. Everything looks kind of flat. It's really expensive movie, but looks cheap. You have that random extra actor, in this case, Luis Guzman, who shows up just long enough to be more than a cameo before being killed off, so they don't have to pay him too much. The story, it's boilerplate. The Tom Hardy kind of doesn't really feel like he wants to be there. And honestly, it's a bit of a bummer. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not even a bad movie. It's just really forgettable. I mean, you could literally watch almost anything else he's put together. You want English language action? Go watch Gangs of London. You want S-tier action? Go watch the Raid movies. It does kind of make me sad that he got, swallowed up by the Netflix machine, and this is the result. Silent Night, a movie that we waited 20 years for John Woo to finally come back and make an English language movie, only to have him make a no language movie because there's no dialogue in this movie at all. And you know what? I kind of like that. When this movie came out, it was divisive. I think the biggest problem was they sold it as this kick-ass revenge thriller about a man who basically hones himself into a weapon using YouTube and a home gym he puts together to go get revenge for the death of his son. And the movie we got is deeply critical of that kind of attitude and that kind of mentality. Joel Kinnaman's character is really not supposed to be aspirational. If anything, is very tragic. Here's this guy who's so consumed by grief and so consumed by just anger and rage and powerlessness that he basically walks away from his own life. He abandons his wife, who's also grieving the death of their son. He creates this dorky little, revenge calendar. This is not John Woo in face-off mode. This is John Woo in bullet to the head mode, using really, really well executed action sequences to tell a story of tragedy and how violence destroys us little by little from the inside. This movie has tons of little background details if you just look for them, including his revenge calendar saying, maybe start a gang war. The kind of gang war that literally took the life of his son. And the same gang war he creates then takes the life of a cop, brutally takes the life of a cop who just happens to be played by John Woo's own daughter, Angel, in case this movie was being too subtle with his messaging. I think that this movie was misunderstood. It wasn't what we wanted, or at least what we expected. It's the kind of movie that's ripe for reappraisal. Someday this might be held up next to Bullet to the Head, next to a lot of his more kind of off-kilter movies, as opposed to the more mainstream things like The Killer, Hard Boiled, Face Off, that stuff like that. So it's obvious from the way I've been speaking, I think Silent Night absolutely crushes Havoc. Havoc is exactly what we were expecting it to be. It just wasn't very good. Silent Night is not what we expected it to be at all. And despite its tiny budget, it was actually quite good. I think that there's a lot to dive into if you're ready to engage with it on its own. Thanks, guys, for having me. And also be sure to check out Lost Phoenix, now available on Blu-ray, DVD, and Game Boy Color.
There you go. Thanks, James. Thank you for that. We got one for Havoc and one for Silent Night. This is what Versus is all about, baby. Oh, yeah. All right, so we're going to go to Frankie. Frankie, who you got? Who you got?
You know, again, believe it or not, this was a fun watch anyway because they were both interesting films. We had expectations leading up to them, and Havoc is special because it references Wu using that track from A Better Tomorrow when he walks in. It had all these, you see his love, his passion for action cinema, his cinema in general in Havoc. So I appreciated that aspect a lot. And like some of us here, I really enjoyed the CG video game Max Payne effects. I don't know, it just clicked for me. And with Silent Night, second viewing, I'm like, you know what? I let a few things slide, but man, it was tough. Like I appreciate it. Like I said, the sound design stood out more. But if anybody knows my dating life, I love toxic women because it's fun. So I'm going with Havoc. No, I'm being real because the thing is, there's something that I like to do when we do these versus or comparisons.
Yeah,
I watch it with my friends or neighbors.
Nice.
And they were more entertained with Havoc.
Yeah.
Than Silent Night. They're like, is this an NYU student film? That's what the freaking guy upstairs said. So I'm going with Havoc, man. It's just fun.
All right. There we go. We already know what Dragon's going for. Silent Night. Put that down. Oh, wait.
When
Hold
Netflix
on.
won't release a disc, I make my own.
Oh, look at this guy. How fancy schmancy. Nice.
Bootleg discs are available.
Nice. There we go. Havoc for the fanatical one. Kyle, who you got, brother? The face.
You got to take one. You got to take one.
Yeah.
There could be only one.
Oh, God.
You're the one you own, man.
There you go.
But
the first half of one, the second half of the other.
I like that.
Yeah, you confuse that one.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh no.
So, Silent Havoc or Havoc Night.
No, I seriously came in with a strong like decision of like, yeah, I think I'm gonna choose this one. I think I'm definitely gonna choose this one. But as always, Rick, you managed to sway my decision somehow. I'm actually going with Havoc.
Wow, look at
I'll buy you a beer, I'll hook you up with a goth mommy, and you understand, bro.
Yeah.
Wow, look at
again,
that.
Watch it for a third time, understanding what it is now.
Exactly. Ooh, goth mommy. Ooh.
And just enjoy it.
Ooh, look at that. Fanatical's got his smile's getting bigger. He's gonna have a Joker smile by the time we're done here. But we still got me and Jeff. Jeff, who you got, brother?
I don't think anybody wins here, guys. So, but if Silent Night was John Woo not having enough fun, Havoc was Gareth Evans having a little bit too much fun. So, oh God. While Havoc left me feeling dirty watching it again, Silent Night left me feeling incredibly apathetic about the whole thing. So if I have to, I'll give it to Havoc because it's more familiar and
wow,
there is some entertainment there. It really just came down to that lack of dialogue for Silent Night for me. I was like, all right, whatever. So that's it.
Nice.
But again, guys, there's no winning, just degrees of losing.
All right, Rick.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I already
the
know.
Bottom line for me, even before I came in here and before I, thought about what I was going to say about each of these things, wonderful filmmakers, love them both.
Yes.
But the thing here is that I remember almost every moment of Havoc.
Yes.
I couldn't remember a single scene from Silent Night. So yeah, I'm going with Havoc.
All right. And despite my issues with the film, I'm not going to say which one, with the film, At the end of the day, you got to pick one. And you know, if you know me, you know what I like, baby. You know what I like if you follow the channel. So I'm going to be voting for. You're choosing Havoc. I'm choosing Havoc. God damn it! All right, yeah, baby. So yeah, we almost had a sweep there, but the winner is.
I mean,
It's
Rick,
a Christmas miracle.
yeah, Rick laid it out. It has moments you remember. I mean, the fact that I remember the track from Dean Martin and that whole scene and the frames, like, and the cabin scene, like, even though the two little people, as I call them, they annoy me, it had moments in there. It's fun.
Right.
The movie's fun, bro.
Yeah. And it doesn't feel long. It doesn't feel long.
Yeah.
It gets in and it gets out. But next time, Sonny Payne, martial arts, let him do his thing. But now, the Movie Dojo Army, you know, I always do a poll on the channel. Who did they vote for? You know,
They're always the reverse.
Yes, shout out. No, believe it or not.
Whoa.
Boom! Look at that.
I almost doubled.
That is definitely a landslide.
Yeah. So if we had a tie, Havoc would have still won, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a blast. Great choice once again by the Shogun, who's supreme, baby. And we're getting ready to wrap it up really quick. Frankie, what you got coming out?
Oh man, I got some projects lined up for next year that I'm gonna like announce next month. But a lot of things for Japanese cinema, man. A lot of things are happening, man. So I'm looking forward to share that in the near future.
Yeah, man. Keep us in the loop because you do great work, brother. Oh yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah. And here he is.
I've been busy too. Through a bit of Frankie's help and some of Kung Fu Bob's help, I'm on a couple of 88 Films releases and doing some stuff for Chameleon, the Australian label, for some Hong Kong cinema. Thank you.
Congrats. Yes. And Kyle, congrats to you, man, with your short film that just came out. Debuted in Las Vegas.
You shouldn't see this poster right now.
No? Okay.
There's a brand new poster that no one needs to know about.
Okay, never mind.
But thank you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, shout out. Hey, you got it done. You got it completed, and you know it's all good. It's what it's all about, man. Congrats. And here he is. Y'all need to buy the coffee. Y'all need to buy the Venoms coffee. What? 5 deadly Venoms, the 5 Venoms coffee. What? What you got?
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, BrewDragonCoffee.com. Go check out the coffees that we have that represent each of the 5 Venoms. Because it's fun. Why not? But thanks for having me, guys. This was a lot of fun. It was good meeting you guys and hashing out Havoc versus Silent Night. Again, nobody won, but it was fun. Right? It was a lot of fun.
I won.
But yeah, come hang out on the Kung Fu Driving podcast. You can catch me on Instagram and all that. But again, thank you for having me. It was a blast.
Oh yeah, man. It's your second home now with verses, baby. We gotta get you on more of them when we do some Kung Fu ones. Rick, anything you got coming up? You want to announce?
In almost 4 hours and 20 minutes, I get on the sled and I go around the world and I deliver all these toys.
I was going to ask
something. I just do toys. I keep telling people I'm not going to get you a car. I'll get you a toy car. I'll get you a toy boat. I'll get you a toy horse. But otherwise, it's all toys. And we've got an amazing team, and they're all ready. The sled is done. We'll take care of it, and then I'll be able to take a nice vacation 24 hours and 4 hours and 20 minutes from now.
Yes. Well deserved. Well earned. Yes. We appreciate what you do. We need our toys, man. That's right.
You've all been very good this year, I can say.
Yay! All right.
Yay.
Woo-hoo.
Keep being nice.
Yes. Well, all you legends watching right now, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Old Samurai Guy. Continue to follow the Movie Dojo podcast right here on YouTube and on Spotify, baby. Oh, yeah. And we got a lot more Scrapping with Samurai episodes coming out this week. More interviews and all that jazz because we love talking movies. That's what the channel is all about. All right. So thanks again for watching. Next week will be the next week will be next action film autopsy episode because we'll have to do December's in January. So join us. I guess for the official. I guess for 2025, it's the last AFA episode.
Yes.
So join us next Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific time for that. Again, a lot of cool stuff coming up. Click on all of the links below to follow all of these legends on their filmmaking and creative journey. Oh, yeah, that's right. And subscribe or this guy's going to get you, man.
Cry Havoc!
Havoc! I knew Havoc was going to win. All right, guys, take care. See you on the next one.
Merry Christmas.